Hi, everyone. I'm just doing this recording. Thank you for attending. There were a lot of people here today. I know a couple of people couldn't get in. I'm not really sure why that is. That's why I do the recording. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. And there are three things you're going to have to do for the final exam. One, watch the videos that I put on Edmodo. They're just review videos, but they'll be helpful. Two, take the quiz. I will send you a link that shows you how to take the quiz on Edmodo. Watch the video. It's pretty simple, and the quiz is pretty simple as well. Submit your paper. You're going to be writing a paper. The final exam will be a total of 3 or 4 paragraphs, okay? But before we start, I just want to thank you for your ability to move from the classroom to an online program. It's not easy. And I'm just lucky that I had Edmodo set up, and I've been using it for years, but I know other teachers did not have the benefit to be able to do that. But that shows how adaptable you are, and we have to be adaptable in these times. So I thank you. So in this exam, make sure you put your name on your paper so that I know who's writing it. I've gotten a couple of papers I don't know who wrote the paper. You must write at least 1 paragraph for each section. Each paragraph must have at least 8 sentences in it, okay? This is just a guidance here. So the first part, and this is it is about you. The first section, you're going to talk about your childhood. You're going to use the past tense. So if you have any questions about that, there's plenty of that information in your book. But use clauses like when, while, ago, during, I could have. We studied those in our chapters. What did you have to do as a child? But when you're writing, you're going to say what I had to do as a child because it's in the past tense. What could you do well? What couldn't you do? Use adjectives and adverbs to describe yourself as a child. What is one rite of passage you remember? We studied rite of passages. How did you feel when you were allowed to do this? Who are you like and who are you different from in your family? Here are some helpful starters. You don't have to use them, but they're helpful to get your writing started, and you want to change up those sentences a little bit. So we have because of, I should have, by the time I, the moment I, before I got my first job or boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it may be. These are just helpful. You may use them if you like. Section 2, what are you doing now? This is in the present tense to describe some things in your life now that you do and you don't like. Some things we studied the word prefer. I'd rather, I would prefer, to describe what you have and you don't have. Use some if clauses. If I was offered the opportunity for a job in the advertising sector, I would just love it, or whatever that may be for you. Again, some helpful starters for present tense: today, at the moment, nowadays, these days, right now. Section 3, your future, of course, past, present, and future. What do you want to do? What should you do? What must you do? Use in to write about your future growth in 10 years, in 5 years. Remember those time phrases? Right. So we're going to use some of those time phrases there. So here's an example: in the future, in 10 years, in 5 years, in the next month. You're going to write about your future. Describe yourself in the future using adjectives and adverbs. I want you, when you're completed with the past, present, and future, I want you to write one sentence using an imperative to give advice to other ESL students at the college. Okay, and then the last part of this written part is create a question that would result in each response. Watch for the verb use, the tense, and the subject usage. So here is an example, would be the response, but what would the question be? So I want you to write a question here that would be appropriate for this response. So there are 10 of those. Here below here, I want you to read through. There's some good stuff here. I mean, these are words to help you with this writing. There are transition words here. There are words that help you with examples, for one thing. In this case, including lots of transition words, words that can help you with these paragraphs. These words are just good writing. Do you have to use them all? Absolutely not. You couldn't. But use what you can use here, right? To make that writing really pop. And then there's some examples here of someone that wrote without transition words, and then someone that used transition words. It just makes your writing much better, okay? So test it out. You have some sentence starters, you have some transition words you can use, and that's about it. Okay, I think I covered everything. If not, you can get in contact with me in Edmodo to ask me any questions you have. Okay, and I appreciate your time and you taking this course. Unfortunately, the things that worked out, you know, and I hope for better days. Okay, have a good day.